am Joe.
And I'm Kokoy.
Together we are.
TITOS with Ukuleleles.
And today, for the very first time, we are reviewing
An ENYA ukulele. Yes, finally we got our hands on an ENYA because it's a popular brand consisting of many levels, maybe three major levels. The plastic one, the one that's made out of wood, and the premium ones. So we have now a nice blue ukulele in tenor size.
You said that the body, the whole thing, top, sides, and back are made of?
Mahogany.
Same thing with the neck?
Yes, we assume so. And but the fretboard is supposedly ebony. It's kind of dark. However, the
Bridge is rich light. Yep.
which is synthetic. The saddles and are nut. Saddles and nut are bone, if I'm not mistaken. And everything else feels premium for this $200 ukulele.
Yeah. Actually, this is a treat when you look inside. Number one, in here, normally other brands would use a sticker.
Yes.
This looks like it's laser engraved.
Oh, just like a Martin.
Yeah, so you have the name, then the model number. It says ENYA ukulele just to further reinforce it. Then on this part here inside, where the body joins with the heel of the neck, you get the logo ENYA and the serial number of the uke. So it's also engraved here.
So you know that's actually original, but you know they barely fake the ENYA.
Yeah.
So this one is again from China. ENYA is an Asian brand. Yes, you also do get those usual factory stickers that I tell you to remove because it will destroy your finish in the future. It has a nice slotted headstock with black and brass. Nicely done. Classic vintage open gear tuners. One thing that's curious about the ENYA brand is people are saying, is it related to ENYA the singer? If you are as old as us, you know who she is. But of course they say that it's not. It just so happens that their name, ENYA, which is supposed to be Chinese for something like blessed something, ENYA, and also that the logo, the font is just cursive. So it is similar. It just reminds you of ENYA the singer, but it is not related to as they claim.
Yeah. Now, one thing I like about this is that it already comes with the strap buttons. So you have one here on the butt, right there, and there's another one on here.
Yes, and because the heel is kind of a squarish heel, if you can notice, it's not pointed or stiletto. They decided to put the strap button right there, which is actually practical because it just goes straight.
Yeah.
If the screw goes further, it might actually be reinforcing the connection of the, this heel to the body, which is, it won't break it. Definitely, I should do that more often.
I actually have a uke. The strap button, I hate the position. It's right here at the bottom of the heel. And so I have to put a strap lock. Otherwise, the strap comes off and we've almost
that could be a concern.
But
those ukuleles or instruments that have the strap button sticking out here, their advantage is that it will have less scratches when you put it on the table. So that lifts it up. But then it is kind of awkward. One thing nice about the ukuleles that come with their pre-strap holes is that, like this one that does not have a piezo pickup or pickup at all, that's a good place to actually put the hole. You already have a pre-drill so to know where you can put it. This is a slot through.
Yeah. So
when you string change, you have just to put it inside.
Yeah, but you pointed out earlier, off camera, he pointed out that because it's a slot through, it's actually harder for you to change this into a low G string.
Could be, because I'm looking at the hole, and that G hole is pretty small. It's going to be kind of, it might be tough.
Yeah.
I might not be able to change that to a low G. This has a glossy body, but it does also is prone to sticking stuff.
And like fingerprints.
Fingerprints. You can sort of see through the mahogany pattern from the nice glossy blue. Personally, if they had made the blue a little lighter, it would be feeling cheap. They have a nice abalone.
What I hate normally is, okay, your instrument is solid wood. I'm not dissing on laminates, folks. I'm just talking about solid wood. And like they paint it so heavily, you don't see the grain of the wood. Okay, I don't like those.
Yes, those would be on those kinds of ukulele with dark finishes or those. But between this and a very matte, where your sweat acids can easily corrode it, I prefer the glossy because when you clean it, it feels cleaner.
Yeah.
When you have your sweat, grime,
Yeah.
and everything on those matte finishes, it feels pretty hard, like the Martin.
Yeah, but okay. So this blue, it's fairly dark, but in spite of that, you still see the grain.
It does come with a brown color, or a more natural finish. So this blue is the one that's unique. They do come with concert size, I think. Not sure about soprano, but since we got this on the used market, yeah, I did so because it's pretty hard now to find this tenor blue. Usually you have the natural color for tenor, and this particular model is not so. It's hard to find now because they're trying to push for their synthetic plastic model, which is also nice, but we haven't tried that. And versus also the darker blue, that is priced over $600 or so with their premium line. So this fits right in the middle with the $200 budget. And I think the sound, which we will test now, will prove that is it comparative to Kala and the other brands within 300, 200? Let's see.
Sail away, sail away, sail away, sail away, sail away, sail away.
Whoop, that's enough before we get our monetary for copyright infringement. For those people, that was what Enya sounds like, with a little bit better. A lot better.
Okay, now, sound sample wise, is telling Kokoy that the sound, something seems to be holding it back. And he said, you're comparing it to a more expensive ukulele. And my stand is still that even so, sounds muted. It could be the strings, okay?
It could be the strings, which right now is with what we call clear. However, it's not stated if this is Aquila, but definitely it's clear. Possibly an Enya brand itself. However, yes, maybe it also could be psychologically because of the one, synthetic rich light bridge. Two, it seems like the finish is pretty thick. Yeah, it's pretty thick. If you compare it to the Kala that's usually like light and matte that you are so used to.
Yeah.
It could be that one.
Can I test something?
Could also be because when we play it, usually you play it sticking to your body.
It's vibrating, but not as much as the other ukes we've tested.
Yes, I would even say that the kind of the thick feeling, it may be of the muted feeling, is very similar to a previous one we tested. The Epiphone. Yes, the Epiphone Hummingbird, which is equally as glossy, as thick, except that one had a pickup. So this one, I probably might have to put a pickup in here because it's a beautiful blue. One thing that I always say, maybe you also agree or disagree with me, is that when you're playing in front of a crowd, which we don't normally do, but if you were to play in front of a crowd, in our opinion, or at least in my opinion, it's better to have something that is actually pretty to look at. Because if you're playing with something like as generic brown as the Martin, it's not very impressive. It's like you're just playing with a piece of wood. This one feels like you're playing with a piece of art.
For me, this would be, if I were to perform in front of a crowd with this Given with my meager skills, it will be if you cannot play, you display.
True, but if you put a pickup on it, which we might do in the future, yes, it could add to the advantages of such flare-looking ukulele. Because definitely, the muted sound. We've discussed this before, and people might disagree with that. But if you have an instrument like this with more robust material, simply put, thicker material, and you put a piezo pickup, sometimes because it kind of minimizes more feedback because it's so thick, and also the piezo likes to cling on to more wood or something. It could actually help improve a solid piezo pickup sound, right? Some people might disagree on that, but from experience, it seems like, especially brands like Epiphone, they try to make their wood thicker because they do want you to put it on an amplifier.
Yeah. Now, this is very nice and pretty fret markers. These are inlaid, right?
Yes, but these are also, again, cheaper inlays. They try to make it like a mother of pearl, but obviously when you have a mother of pearl that's too white, it is kind of silvery mother of pearl.
You know, we once reviewed the Danny. It had
unique.
inlays.
It was filler.
Yeah.
Painted or filler.
I'd rather have this than the one on the Danny.
Yes, but again, this is a China-made instrument, probably also a China company. It is kind of similar to a similar instrument we featured, the Mr. Mai, or the other similar instruments that within that range. So somehow, maybe there is a supplier out there from China that supplies these kinds of inlay. But overall, it's an interesting instrument. I like that it's blue. Also, for me, the glossy part is an advantage if you don't want to put a hole in this and you want to put the pickup that you stick on. You rather put it on a glossy because it won't ruin the matte finish, right?
Well, okay. For me, if you do get one, I hope you change the strings.
Yes, you can change the strings. You can try blue strings, right?
Dunlop?
No, roto sound. When you buy a roto sound,
yeah.
Someday we will have a feature on strings. If you buy a roto sound, it comes with full blue. But Joe, for about $200, what you get are a lot of fun stuff like the included gig bag.
Yeah. Okay.
It's quite thick, right? It's quite thick, and if you buy this brand new, it will come with other accessories. Right now, because I bought it on used, it only comes with, I think it comes with a capo when you buy it. It's brand new and a strap.
Actually, for me, that's a plus. I have a uke that's a bit more expensive than this.
It doesn't.
The bag had to be purchased separately. I'm talking about Ukala.
Yes. And of course, this is ENYA, and ENYA is a very good Chinese brand. It even has even the zippers. Look, it's like the headstock of their electric guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even the zippers are not like OEM manufacturer. The zippers says ENYA, and it is shaped like the headstock of their electric guitar series.
And their gig bag has nice padding.
Yes.
They didn't scrimp on it.
Now, speaking of ENYA, on our last points probably is that this is the fully acoustic model. Now, if you had the budget of $200, another one could go with their synthetic material, yet they put the active pickup with effects. Now, that's something I'd like to see on something like this. If they had only chose to put their preamp with effects on this would have been almost perfect for a good $200 player.
Okay, now folks, once again, the ukes that we feature here, we purchased with our own money. So no one's paying us to do this. No one handed us a uke saying, say good things when you review it. These are our honest opinions. And we need your likes, we need your subs to keep us going.
All right, so see you in our next episode.